Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Eagles named landing spot for ex-Cowboys starter amid heavy interest. The Philadelphia Eagles are considered a potential landing spot for one of the top free agent centers in the NFL. As CBS Sports' Brian DeArdo mentions, former Dallas Cowboys starting center Connor Williams should be considered a potential option for the Eagles. Simply put, Philadelphia is coming off of an offseason where they lost one of the best players in franchise history, Jason Kelce, to retirement. The six-time All-Pro selection and seven-time Pro Bowler called it a career after 13 seasons with the Eagles. DeArdo argues that while third-year man Cam Jurgens may end up being a suitable replacement, the more sure option is signing Williams, who has started 77 games in his NFL career. This is a no-brainer. Jason Kelce, one of the greatest centers in NFL history, retired the offseason, writes DeArdo. And while Cam Jurgens might end up being a suitable replacement, the Eagles should still pursue Williams, a proven veteran who would at the very least provide competition for the Eagles' starting center job. The 27-year-old Williams is drawing heavy interest in the free agency market, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Former Cowboys and Dolphins free agent center Connor Williams, who is coming off season-ending knee surgery, expects to be ready for the start of the season and is in discussions with multiple teams about where to play in 2024, writes Schefter. He plans to pick his new team before training camp begins. Williams actually began his career with the Cowboys back in 2018 as the starting left guard. He remained in that role through the 2021 season until signing with the Miami Dolphins during the 2022 offseason. It was in Miami where Williams emerged as the starting center, starting all 26 of his appearances before suffering a season-ending ACL tear towards the end of the 2023 season. While the Eagles already have an established starting left guard in Landon Dickerson, Dickerson has started the past 3 seasons for Philadelphia since his rookie year. Williams' experience at both left guard and center could serve the Eagles well in case of injury. Although Williams was limited to just 9 games due to injury, he actually had his best year last season. According to Pro Football Focus, Williams posted an 86.5 offensive grade and 90.5 run-blocking grade last season. Among all full-time players at his position, Williams ranked second in offensive grade and run-blocking grade last season. While Philadelphia would likely have to get into a bidding war, Schefter mentions multiple teams interested in him, with another team, signing Williams may be as much of a sure thing as the Eagles will get as far as a replacement for Kelce is concerned. Jurgens started 11 games at guard last season, but has yet to start any at center. He started at center during his collegiate career at the University of Nebraska. According to Pro Football Focus, Jurgens posted a 63.0 offensive grade, 55.0 pass blocking grade and 62.9 run blocking grade, all average marks for an offensive lineman. Considering the Eagles are coming off of a season in which they lost 5 of their final 6 games to close out the 2023 campaign, Philadelphia needs all of the established help they can get. Signing Williams can go a long way towards ensuring that both the Eagles and Jalen Hurts bounce back in a strong way entering the 2024 season. Chiefs bubble candidate sends forward message on NFL future. Considering the Kansas City Chiefs' homegrown depth at cornerback, there is no easy road for a newcomer like Kelvin Joseph at 2024 training camp. Despite that, the 24-year-old cast off of the Dallas Cowboys, Miami Dolphins, and Seattle Seahawks has not lost hope in his NFL future. "I ain't giving up," Joseph told his ex-followers on June 20th. The post came about a month ahead of the start of Chiefs camp, which will serve as yet another opportunity for the former second-round talent out of Kentucky. Of course, making this KC roster will be difficult. Joseph flashed during spring activities after signing a reserve/future contract with the organization in January. But he faces an uphill battle. The Chiefs have drafted 9 defensive backs over the past 3 offseasons, most of which have looked the part early in their respective careers. That list includes CB prospects Trent McDuffie, Joshua Williams, Jalen Watson, Najee Johnson and Nick Jones, as well as safeties Brian Cook and Jaden Hicks, and tweeners Shamari Connor and Kamal Hadden. So, not only does Joseph have to learn a new system, but he must also beat out players that the Kansas City front office liked enough to draft. Having said that, perhaps the Chiefs liked Joseph enough to pick him back in 2021, let's say the Cowboys hadn't. There's a reason General Manager Brett Veach and Defensive Coordinator Steve Spagnuolo took a flyer on the 6'1" DB. He's currently a dark horse to make the final 53 in 2024. After being selected 44th overall by the Cowboys, Joseph appeared in 29 outings over 2 seasons, including playoffs, starting 3 of them. He has yet to intercept his first NFL pass but did register 4 pass defenses with Dallas, along with a fumble force and a recovery. Pro Football Focus awarded Joseph a quality 73.0 coverage grade as a rookie, and the numbers back that up. The cornerback held pass catchers to a low reception rate of 46.7% that year, with quarterbacks throwing for a 54.6 passer rating. He did not allow a touchdown, nor was he often penalized, flagged once in 2021. Joseph was also competent as a run defender and tackler early on with 8 key defensive stops, 1 tackle for a loss and a missed tackle rate of 7.1%. Then in year 2, most coverage areas took a nosedive. Dallas Cowboys trade Dak Prescott to Las Vegas Raiders in NFL analysts' bold prediction. The Dallas Cowboys save a perennial MVP candidate at quarterback, an all-pro wide receiver everything to win this year. They have her, and one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. However, they also have a great deal to lose this year. Head coach Mike McCarthy is in the final year of his contract and owner Jerry Jones has refused to offer him an extension. That 1-3 record in the NFL playoffs since he became head coach has far from met the expectations the team has had for him. Additionally, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons, the 3 players described above, are all due for major contract extensions. Prescott, specifically, is in line for a contract that could break records in terms of total compensation, annual salary, and guaranteed money. While the Cowboys have made it known that they are prioritizing extending their quarterback, nothing has been agreed upon yet. In the meantime, 2 other NFL quarterbacks, Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence, have signed contracts that will pay them well over $50 million a year. The Lawrence contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars is especially concerning for Dallas' situation with Prescott. The 3-year veteran signed a massive 5-year $275 million deal that will pay him $55 million a year. This ties him with Joe Burrow of the Cincinnati Bengals for the highest annual salary in the NFL. As Prescott is, by a long measure, a better quarterback than Lawrence, it stands to reason that he will want, and get, more money than him. Whether or not the Cowboys will be able or willing to meet his asking price is still a matter of debate. To his credit, Prescott has not held out from Dallas offseason team activities while his contract is negotiated. However, that does not mean that it will get done before the season begins. Of course, he will play regardless of whether or not a deal gets done. He can only increase his price by playing well. Part of Prescott's current contract states that the Cowboys cannot franchise tag him. In other words, once he hits free agency, any team is going to be able to sign him and Dallas can only hope he chooses their offer over other suitors. If he goes into the regular season without a new deal, it will only increase speculation that he will ditch the Cowboys in free agency. If that is the case, and if Dallas is out of contention for the NFL playoffs by the time the NFL trade deadline rolls around, one analyst predicts that the Cowboys will simply trade him, and the Las Vegas Raiders were mentioned as a potential destination. The odds might be similar, but I view the Eagles as the clear-cut favorite in the NFC East. They have too much talent not to bounce back, while Dallas looks primed to regress. And if that happens, the organization could very well decide it's time to move on from Prescott, who has been part of just 2 playoff wins and has thrown 4 interceptions in the team's last 2 postseason losses. Quarterbacks rarely move in the middle of seasons, but most of the ingredients are there in this case. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Dak Prescott? Leave your opinion in the comments.